Welcome back to the GRTV Christmas Calendar show. Today it's another format special.
Yes.
We're looking at Sony's PlayStation 3. Bengt, perhaps an overview of where the console's at and where it's come from might be best to kick us off.
Well, we're at the third iteration now, so we've come a long way for it, and it's been around since early part of 2007 here in Europe, I believe. Came out in March 2007, and well, it's right about at 70 million now, neck and neck with Xbox 360 in terms of popularity. It's probably the biggest console here in Europe. Doing well, quite a few exclusives. This year, actually kind of quiet in terms of exclusives, we found out. But it's got a lot of big ones coming as well, and it's had a lot of, I mean, basically Sony has had more exclusives than Microsoft over the whole generation, bigger in terms of quantity. They've had more studios working on it, while Microsoft are more focused on like the big franchises, the Gears of War, the Forza, the Halo, and Fable, and then basically not had a lot of other games, but there's been more diversity with Sony.
They seem to go off on quite a number of different tangents, yeah.
Yeah, they're very much all over the place, and it also shows like their initiatives. They have they brought out PlayStation Move a couple of years back, which has sort of, I guess, it sort of lands somewhere in between what the Wii Mote did and what Microsoft did with Kinect. And now, this year, they're expanding that with the Wonderbook, of course, which is maybe seen as a kid's initiative, but there's a lot of potential in that sort of, where it sort of marriages the motion controls with the augmented reality and sort of, I'm excited to see what they can do with that and what that can take. And also I think, you know, if I was like a 5-year-old kid or a 6-year-old kid, I would love that. I would love
I'm a 31-year-old kid, I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun thing. Of course, there's free online multiplayer with PlayStation 3, big plus up on Xbox 360, but they've also got their PlayStation Plus initiative, which I feel is sometimes a little bit overlooked because it's really good value for gamers. Get that subscription and you basically got like a huge selection of games over the calendar year that you can play for free. Really top titles. It's not like, you know, let's give them the fillers. It's all good stuff. And you also get discounts and stuff, but it's a real good deal. And that also extends to PS Vita. And now we're seeing some PS Vita crossover things. We're seeing the cross-buy initiative. We're seeing some games that, you know, you can use the same save in another game. And I like how they did that. The PS Vita, of course, not the commercial success that it, you know.
Yet.
No,
not yet, but we shall see.
We shall see, but it's interesting, and it's sort of, once again, Sony are doing things in every direction. It feels like it's hard to keep track of, but there's a lot of stuff there that's really nice, and that I'd like to see develop more.
Like you said, it's a lot of the big exclusives we're waiting for aren't due till next year or even beyond. But for the moment, sort of like for people out there who maybe want to pick up the new super slim PlayStation 3, 3 titles?
3 titles. I think the first one is probably the title that most would say is like the game of the year on PlayStation, and that's Journey from that game company. And it's not even a retail title. It's like I don't know, 10 quid.
Yeah, 10 like download, 3 hours length.
Yeah, and it's sort of a cooperative experience, I guess is the best way to put it. It's
dream state sort of.
Really special kind of game, and I feel that it's the kind of game that gamers love, but it really deserves a bigger, more like a casual audience, because it's something that sort of would open people's eyes to this medium that is video games. And now I'm getting really pretentious here. But, let's move on to something less pretentious. It's the sort of game that
sort of brings that, yes.
Yeah. God of War.
God of War, there we go.
No more pretensions, just blood and guts.
Blood and guts, hack and slash.
And sort of killing gods and all that sort of good stuff. The God of War series, of course, sort of synonymous with PlayStation. There's actually only been like one main entry this generation, which is kind of crazy to think of it. But they're putting all the God of War games together in the God of War saga release, which gives you the 2 PSP games, the 2 PS2 games, and God of War 3 in one package. And you know,
it's great value.
It's great value, and it's sort of a, if you've missed out on it, if you didn't have a PSP, if you didn't play the old ones on the PS2, this is a great time to sort of catch up on the series. And quality games, quality, you know, the gameplay is really there, and it's like.
And again, it's sort of seeing that growth of the series from each iteration.
Exactly, and it sets you up for God of War Ascension that comes out early next year. Well, it's definitely good value.
Actually, as a little aside, it's actually good to see the number of HD re-releases that are coming out this generation, where it's compilations of 2-3 games in a series.
You're getting Ratchet & Clank, Killzone, Resistance,
Metal Gear Solid as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So again, if you're looking for good value for your 20-30 quid, they're perfectly HD.
You got the Mass Effect trilogy as well.
That's very true.
PlayStation 3. So there's a lot of those kind of things going on right now, which is nice. I think if you're catching up, that's a really great way to get that, and you get all the DLC and all the stuff that you want to get in there as well. And we got a third game. And it's actually a multi-platform release. It's Dishonored. I think it's on a lot of people's lists for Game of the Year candidates. It's
Arcane Studios bringing some sort of alternate London
Steam whale punk.
Whale punk. I like it. Whale punk.
Yeah, it's at its core, it's a stealth game, and you're rewarded for being stealthy and meticulous about it, but you can just go nuts as well. And that's the fun part. I think you get so many extravagant superpowers in that game that you really want to go nuts sometimes and just kill people and be a rat and possess people and make them commit suicide.
But the great thing, much like Journey, it's got a beautiful art style that has not been paralleled anywhere else. Really very distinct.
Very much unique art style. Of course, parts of it you'll think of Half-Life, but that's only natural because the art director is, of course, responsible for
C-17. Yeah.
So, but really the aesthetics, the sort of the Victorian era thing that they're going at, but also like the science fiction stuff.
It's really nice meld of the different sort of genres.
Just all the sort of hideous people that are in there. I mean, I don't think there's like a beautiful person in that game. Everyone looks sort of a little bit twisted. It's a lot like BioShock in that sense, that everyone looks a little bit like, what the hell have they been through?
But still, I mean, that's a pretty good top 3, and because they're very distinct as well, you're going to have a veritable treasure trove of different experiences, whatever you pick up. And like we mentioned with PS Plus, you pick up the subscription, there'll be a load of free games to pick from as well, all AAA titles.
Yeah, especially if you have a Vita as well, then you I don't even know how you can get the time to play all those games. Yeah,
you'll be playing this till next year. But yeah, I think that's us for the PlayStation 3 for the moment anyway. We're going to run on to today's Indie Darling, along with Emily, to run us through today's competition. Come back tomorrow.
My Indie Darling is Unfinished Swan. You should definitely all play it. It's one of the best small titles that came out in recent months. It's just amazing. Play it now.
Hi, today you have the chance to win Little Big Planet Karting and 1 month of PlayStation Plus. All you have to do is answer this question. The studio who created Little Big Planet Karting, United Front Games, also developed another PS3 karting game a couple of years ago. What was that game called? You know what to do. Write us an email at xmas@gamereactor.eu. Remember to write the answer in the subject line. Before 12 noon tomorrow, Central European Time. Good luck.